Alrighty, gamers, welcome in. Nosaj time, retro timed, the gaming news. Alrighty, gamers, welcome in. Nosaj time, retro timed, the gaming news. Alright. Me. Alright, that's what that is. Okay. Let's just get into it. I took a day off yesterday because I was extremely tired because I was dealing with like some anxiety the night before because of an event. So I like took the day off. So I'm back again. I'm ready to go at this. This weekend I'll be posting videos, of course, like always, kind of back to my normal routine. But I needed that time off to relax a little bit and get my head straight because when I go through anxiety, I tend to push myself into doing things I don't really like work I don't want to keep doing. So I push myself to a limit where like I know I push myself to a point where because I know I have things I gotta do. When my anxiety picks up, I try my best to like not really like go overboard with myself, but at the same time try to maintain my composure. And I was fine yesterday. I was just like really not feeling good at the same time. So I just needed some sleep. That's what it was. So I'm back again. So let's get into it. All right. Yeah, my anxiety gets pushed quite a bit, and that's something that happens to me a lot, and a lot of people don't really like seem like they pay attention or care to another human being's health sometimes. So that's why I did what I did. So all right. GTA 6 trailer coming December 5th, Rockstar reveal. So Rockstar has a trailer coming up for GTA 6. So, alright, we'll read this and then we'll read this because I heard about this too. So, alright, alright. Not the Game Awards, then it was widely believed that a GTA 6 trailer would drop during the Game Awards on December 7th, but it's obvious now that it isn't going to happen. It's likely there's nothing related to the Grand Theft Auto 6 being served for GTA. But that's not a bad thing. On December 5th, we'll finally know. We'll finally have the answer to most of our GTA 6 related questions. In a Rockstar Games Newswire post, it was revealed with a simple holding message that Trailer 1 is coming on December 5th, which means that there are obviously more trailers planned for release further down the line. This will typically be an introduction to the core concept and setting, and will likely get deep dives on later. It's not known if we'll get a release window during this trailer, but we can keep our fingers crossed. So that's it. That's all you have to say about this. I thought you had a lot more insight on this. Usually Insider Gaming has a lot more insight on this stuff, but that's very little. All right. So, all right. Netflix to offer Grand Theft Auto Trilogy as a streamer doubles down on gaming. All right. Is this guy talking? Why is like I find it weird that news outlets are actually talking about gaming right now. I find that extremely strange, but hey, times are changing, and it feels like for gaming we're back to 2010 again, where times were like a lot different and a lot more like lenient with the video game community. So we've seen it go back to what it was. Netflix, NFLX, Jesus, announced Wednesday it plans to offer a Grand Theft Auto trilogy, one of Take Two Interactive TWO most popular games as it looks to boost its video game ambition. Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition, will arrive on the platform December 14th for Netflix subscribers on the App Store, Google Play, and in the Netflix mobile app. Fans can Pre-register beginning on Wednesday. The trilogy adds to Netflix's growing catalog of more than 80 mobile games with more expected. Netflix shares trade flat on the news. Games is Games is a huge entertainment opportunity. Netflix CEO Greg Peters said on his company earnings call last month, "We're talking about 140 billion worth of consumer spending on games outside of China and outside of Russia. And from a strategy perspective, we believe that we can build games into a strong content category, leveraging our current core film and series by connecting members, especially members that are fans of specific IPs, with games that they will love." Peter said Netflix has the ability to cost effectively acquire new players, which can then be leveraged back into the core streaming business. We increase engagement, we increase retention, we increase value delivered. Those all driven our core business metrics, he added. So they're looking at this as like a standpoint of like people will get more out of it this way. And I can't say that the trilogy itself is gonna make me like run to Netflix to be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and run to Netflix and play this game because it's Grand Theft Auto. But I will say for anybody that already owns or uses Netflix, you have the opportunity here to play the game, which is more valuable than probably what you're paying. All right. The Grand Theft Auto series is one of the most iconic titles in gaming. Publisher Take-Two Interactive said that the franchise, which includes Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Grand Theft Auto... Well, is that 4? I'm not good with times in Roman. Grand Theft Auto 4 and Grand Theft Auto 5. So yeah, that would make sense. Has sold more than 410 million units as of the company's latest earnings report. The latest game, Grand Theft Auto 5, was the fastest retail property to reach 1 billion in sales. So let's click this. Grand Theft Auto Online, an offshoot of Grand Theft Auto 5, continues to generate millions of dollars for a publisher. The announcement comes as Take-Two prepares for the release of the first trailer for a highly anticipated Grand Theft Auto 4 and 6 in December. The full game is expected to hit the stores sometime in 2024. Meanwhile, adding a title like Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, to its games collection should prove to be a boon of Netflix gaming platform, but it's going up against stiff competition. Microsoft, which acquired Activision Blizzard for $69 billion earlier this year, is now a force to be reckoned with in the mobile gaming industry, thanks to the addition of Activision's King mobile brand, which makes the popular Candy Crush Saga collection of games. Microsoft's ultimate goal is to make its cloud-based Xbox cloud gaming platform available on mobile devices, serving as a one-stop shop for gamers who want to get access to high-end titles without having to purchase pricey consoles or PCs. Apple is also an enormous force in the mobile gaming industry thanks to its App Store. While the company doesn't break out individual numbers for the business, gaming is widely understood to be its most successful segment. For Netflix to succeed as a true gaming option, it will need to add far more titles to its library the game is on. So, yeah. So once I hear they add like better titles, like example, once I hear they add Liza P, it's done. It's done. I know that's on Game Pass right now, which you know, I'm gonna have to look into, but like games, there's some big games out there that need to be added into this for them to like really take off. Now, this may be a good start, but they have to remember, no, not too many people are playing this right now. Not too many people are actually playing the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Um, but it'll go to Netflix, and there's gonna be some people who are gonna love the idea because you're getting more bargain out of your buck. And it depends on what the price is on their Netflix gaming. So, all right. Oh, let's see what 7 free games are there. Sorry. All right. As the final and most festive month of the year is upon us, Amazon has unwrapped an early Christmas gift with the reveal of the December Prime Gaming lineup. This month, Amazon subscribers can look forward to time traveling action Survivor as Castaway on Strange Island and aim for a high score in a psychedelic shooter. As usual, the 7 games can be acclaimed from the Prime Gaming Hub, and there will also be a new batch of games added to Amazon Luna Prime's gaming channel, including Fortnite, Trackmania, Strange Port Horticulture, Blood Rain, Fresh Bite, Assault Steel, and Once Upon a Gesture. Alright, so these are when they're dropping, okay? So they're dropping on these dates, so look forward to them, I guess. And you'll be able to get them for free if you're on Amazon Prime. The biggest new release on Prime Gaming this month is easily Deathloop, Arcane's award-winning first-person shooter in which you need to find the perfect groove that'll allow you to assassinate 8 individuals who have broken time. It's stylish. The retro futuristic technology is a dream for fans of the analog past, and if you're up for a challenge, you can enable multiplayer so a human-controlled player can hunt you down in a deadly game of heavily armed cat and mouse. This game will be the first title added to Prime Gaming on December 7th. December 14th, we will see 3 new games made available for subscribers in the form of Aka Ara, Our Ground, and Sea Armor, A World of Shipping. Aka Ara is a fast-paced arcade shooter with trippy visuals that assault your sense. Aground is a mining and crafting RPG with 2D pixel art twist, and Sea Armor R.O. Rama, sorry, I kept reading it wrong, let you experience the challenge of running a successful shipping company. So, on December 21st, you can add Binary and a Binary, a brain puzzle platformer involving the use of colored balls to to your collection. December 28th cap off the month with 2 more games, starting out with a tiny sticker sale with a cozy little adventure game about the world with the power of stickers, and it joined by Asteroid Recharge, a modern day revival of arcade classics that same day. If you're interested in grabbing these games but you don't have a Prime membership, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial even if you aren't eligible. You could always grab 1 month membership for $15 to claim these games. Once you claim them, they are yours to keep forever. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So, bunch of free games. That's interesting. That would be good too. If they built a mobile store that allowed you to play Xbox games from your phone, which I think already exists, but if they actually build a mobile store, I would be happy to see that. That would be pretty cool to see. Um, Hang on a second. Nothing really going on my phone. It's just like I want to glance at some things real quick. I guess I could do that. What is it? Give me a second. I'll get back to reading everything. All right. I'm just trying to check and see when the what the link is for my Kick channel. And I'll do it there. Oh, wrong thing. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up my back screen because I forgot I forgot to advertise this over to someplace, so I'm gonna do that real quick. I normally don't like put my streams in these places, but I'm trying to do it later now because it's more or less for like the channels to at least do something, get some life to them, stuff like that. So, I'm gonna put this over on YouTube as well, stuff like that. In like 2 days, I'll be back on Twitter and I'll be advertising it over to Twitter as well. Um, but right now, man, right now I'm not on Twitter. I'm off for like 2 days. Once I get back to Twitter, I think I'll be having a better time at streaming. Um, One more thing before I go anywhere. No, right. So, now, all right. This is awesome. This is actually really, really interesting. It's it's cool to think that like if they do get to the point where they do build like some sort of mobile store app that people could actually play games, from their phone. And that's why like that's I think that's what this aim is about because what they want to do is I don't know if they want to take the access of having your console having an actual console or they want to actually lean more towards the handheld phone market. And I think the reason they're doing that is because they're seeing how good the Nintendo Switch is doing and the handheld market's doing right now. That I think they want to lean more towards that idea of releasing games on mobile and handheld instead of the way things are right now, just kind of just like playing games on a go. That's what a lot of people want. I know for myself, if PlayStation did that, I would actually be really, really happy. And there's a lot of people I know that would like outside of PlayStation Portal, um, there would be a lot of people playing PlayStation games, including myself. But a lot of people don't like, I can't talk to this about a lot of people to, I can't talk about this subject to many people because they're not informed on it too much. That's why I like talking about this. So, I at least know what's going on in an area that like I enjoy learning about because, you know, it doesn't hurt to learn something new, especially, getting myself out there doing this and wanting to like, make a name for myself in the area of gaming. A lot of people are too concerned with like politics and a bunch of other crap. Like pop culture is one of those things that least exciting for me, but I know people that follow it. For me, gaming is more the whole sphere of gaming is a lot more interesting than the sphere of pop culture or politics. And it's because there's a lot of like interesting stuff in there that if you dig at it, you can find how like interesting it is. And a lot of people don't look at it. But I know more now about video gaming than I did like over a year ago, and it's crazy. I know names in video gaming now that I'm just like, wow. Like Phil Spencer to me, that man, that man's kind of like he's like if this was pop culture or film, Phil Spencer would be a movie star. And Phil Spencer would be like somebody that's really well known. A lot of people don't bother to learn with this because a lot of people are so out of, you know, a lot of people didn't take their hobby and make it into something more. You have people looking into the music industry, you have people looking into film, but there are not many people I know in real life busy looking at gaming news. And that's one reason why I like doing it because you never know what you'll find. You can listen and you can learn a lot from it. But a lot of people would waste their time like looking at movie stars and complaining about movie stars and things as such. When in reality, the truth is there's more in going on in video gaming than we realize. So it's exciting to hear all the new stuff that's coming out too. You know, Xbox is aiming to expand its presence in the mobile gaming market by releasing its own digital storefront on smartphones. See, I would have never known about this and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that don't know anything about it. So, these plans follow Xbox's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, a deal that is a key part of the company's strategy as it competes with PlayStation. The acquiring Activision Blizzard has been a digital significance for Xbox, as the mammoth publisher, console and PC offerings include franchises like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Overwatch. However, the Activision Blizzard mobile titles are perhaps even more significantly with exceptional profitable games like Candy Crush, Hearthstone, and Call of Duty Mobile. Falling under the company's banner, mobile games ranked over $100 billion in 2022, dwarfing the profit earned for from console and PC games and sectors profitably is expected to continue growing. It should be noted that Candy Crush has consistently ranked among the most successful mobile games, ranking in over a billion 2022, making it one of the most valuable franchises owned by Xbox following the Activision Blizzard deal. As reported by Bloomberg, Xbox CEO Phil Spencer commented on the company's mobile strategy at CCXP convention in Sao Paulo. Spencer noted that Xbox is working with the partners who are interested in more choices on mobile platforms who will help usher in Xbox's new mobile storefront. He also commented on the timeline of this project, stating that I don't think this is years away. I think this is sooner than that, suggesting that the launch of the storefront may be relatively near. So they are already talking about making a digital storefront for your phone. So in the near future, I do plan on upgrading this thing to a better phone, and hopefully I can run games off of that thing. But we'll see, because I don't like paying high prices to pay off a phone. Just to be honest. Xbox faces a few challenges in this area, the most significant of which are regulations in place on Apple devices. Epic Games has been famously battling Apple over the App Store's 30% cut on in-app purchases, which massively cuts into a primary form monetization for mobile gamers. While Epic suits against Apple resulted in a ruling that former would have to allow for third-party options, the company still does not allow for third-party application stores on its device. Google also charges publishers a 30% fee on every in-app purchase, but does allow third-party app stores on its device. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court's discuss a decision to support Apple. Current practices may bode well for Microsoft, as it leaves a hurdle in the way of its mobile marketplace ambition. Spencer comments about choice may be read as a direct challenge to Apple's restrictive policies so it will be interesting to see if and how the two tech giants come to an agreement on the matter of Xbox Mobile Store. See, Apple is really, really greedy, so I don't know how Apple's going to react to this, but I have the strong feeling that Apple isn't going to be a fan of this, because Apple, when you put an app on the Apple, they want to like kind of they want to kind of like they want money. They want money from you. It's like you can't really advertise anything to them without having some sort of like person without having them want some sort of like funding from you, which is, in a sense I can understand it, but at the same time it's like why are why is Apple like that? I never understood that. But Apple's a big company, they can do whatever the hell they want. It's weird what Apple does sometimes, and I seen them do that with like Fortnite, where they went after Fortnite and took them to court and all that. So we saw that ring of events. Right. More Resident Evil remakes are on the way. All right, more Resident Evil remakes are on the way. So, yeah. Like like I do a lot of gaming news because it just got me away from the stupidity politics has become. Politics is like one of those things I can't understand why anybody would want to keep up on it. It's like you made politics into this thing where it's like you're making it into like watching movie stars, and it's so bizarre because you know for a fact it's you know when did we decide to make the president this icon we can laugh at for Hollywood, like a Hollywood and stuff like that. I don't exactly get it, and I don't understand it, and that's why I stay away from it. But like, I'd rather hear more about the things going on in gaming than I would anything else in the world because listening to all of this actually brings ease to me, and like it's more peaceful to listen to than some how politics makes people feel because politics literally like really upsets people, and the more and more it does that, the more and more like it just shows how much people care about like little topics, and then take them to this like this whole different level that I can't understand. So let's yeah, so we got the Resident Evil 4 remake. So I wonder what's coming next. I'm sure five's coming next. I actually read somewhere that we might get a remake of the very first game. So let's see what's going on here. Capcom has plans to make more Resident Evil remakes. Remakes have been part of the Resident Evil franchise DNA since the early days, though Capcom has recently become more aggressive about them. Capcom has to produce three Resident Evil remakes since Capcom has produced three Resident Evil remakes since 2019, bringing Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and Resident Evil 4 to modern standards with vastly improved graphic, gameplays, upgrades, and more. After the runaway success of Resident Evil 2 remake, it's really no surprise Capcom has continued to remake games in its beloved survival horror series. Each Resident Evil remake game has been a huge commercial success, and so it may seem obvious that even more remakes could be in the pipeline. Capcom recently confirmed much revealing that it does indeed plan on remaking Resident Evil games. Reported, IGN Capcom recently appeared at the PlayStation event in Japan, where Resident Evil 4 Remake Director's Cut Yashiro Ano and Enpo said that Capcom plans to do more with Resident Evil Remake. Anpo didn't reveal Resident Evil games, uh, which Resident Evil games will get the remake treatment next, but some distant responsibilities come to mind. Obviously, the game that many fans would like to see remade is Resident Evil Code Veronica. In fact, many fans were upset when Capcom announced the plans to remake Resident Evil 4 instead of Code Veronica. So, there is clearly an appetite for the game to get a modern remake. Code Veronica, not being a numbered entry in the series, could be part of the reason why Capcom decided to skip over it for Resident Evil 4. But considering the extremely important story development that happens in the game, it would be a mistake to leave it in the past. Unfortunately, the latest word suggests a Code Veronica remake is not currently in the works of, so fans shouldn't hold their breath. Others believe that Resident Evil 5 could get next in line for a remake or even the original Resident Evil. Capcom has multiple Resident Evil games to choose from when it comes to the franchise's next remake, and it will definitely be interesting to see what it ultimately lands on. Anybody, anyone holding out on a Resident Evil remake to release next year shouldn't hold their breath. A reliable insider has said that there will be no Resident Evil remake in 2024, meaning the earliest one could release in 2025. Capcom also has Resident Evil 9 in active development, so who knows when the franchise's next remake will hit the market. So, as you can see there, um, well, I'm surprised they didn't bring up the idea that, well, actually it was called a remaster. So yeah, I'm surprised they haven't bothered to remake the first one. The first one was like great. Like the very first Resident Evil game, that was great. They did a good job on that. Story was good. Everything about it was good. It set the standard for what Resident Evil is today, and I think it's really really cool to see these games being remade. But I haven't played any of these things up past like I think I tried playing like 2 and 3, and I didn't get to 2 and 3. I just I played the first one. First one was great. I played Zero, which was before the original Resident Evil game. I'm surprised they have not remade those. Um, it's just weird to see that they're not touching the original one. All right, new Xbox Game Pass update adds 2 games, including day one release. Microsoft has updated the Xbox Game Pass subscription service, giving subscribers the chance to play both Spirit of North and SteamWorld Build, with the latter being a day one release, since December tends to be on the slower side of things for Xbox Game Pass. Many fans were surprised when Microsoft recently announced a whopping 10 games that would be joining the lineup between now and the middle of the month. The new Xbox Game Pass games for December 2023 are quite varied, plus a few of them are day one releases. Day one Xbox Game Pass games are the biggest selling point for the service, as they allow subscribers to play through brand new games in their entry without actually having to buy games. The addition of SteamWorld Build to the Xbox Game Pass lineup means one of December 2023 day one games is available right now. SteamWorld Build has joined Xbox Game Pass across the cloud console and PC, meaning subscribers can play it on their platform of choice. SteamWorld Build is a city builder game that has earned most positive reviews so far, so fans of the genre should be sure to check it out. Joining SteamWorld Build in a new Xbox Game Pass update is a Spirit of the North, an adventure game where players take control of a fox that had much more mixed ridicule reception at the time of its original release in 2019. However, Spirit of the North was recently announced, so there may be Xbox Game Pass subscribers that are now interested in playing through the original. So it looks like all these games are coming to PC, Steam, I guess. No, Game Pass, okay. Spirit of the North and Steam World Build are just the first new Xbox Game Pass games for December 2023, with many more on the way. December 5th is going to be a particular busy day for Xbox Game Pass subscribers, as the day will see them treated to a clone drone in the danger zone. Wow, what a rhyme. Rise of the Tomb Raider day one game, while the Iron's Hot in World War Z Aftermath, Goat Simulator 3 will join Xbox Game Pass on December 7th against the Storm hit PC Game Pass on December 8th. Tin Heart has been announced for December 12th, and finally Far Cry is joining the Xbox Game Pass on December 14th. There are plenty of new Xbox Game Pass games for December 2023 to be excited about, but fans should keep in mind that games will be leaving the service on December as well. In fact, 4 Xbox Game Pass games are leaving on December 15th, including Chained Echoes, one of the most critically acclaimed games available on the service. All right. So we already read that before we came in here. That's wild. NVIDIA RTX GPU 4000 GPU deals get you 3 months of Xbox Game Pass and GeForce Now. So, yes, NVIDIA comes with GeForce Now, and now it comes with Xbox. That's pretty cool. NVIDIA has kicked off a campaign after offers 3 months of Game Pass and GeForce Now to PC gamers looking to buy a new RTX 40 series graphics card at a participating retailer such as Amazon, Newegg, and Best Buy in the US and Canada. This latest NVIDIA promotion will run until early January and while supplies last. The NVIDIA RTX 40 series card that are part of the latest deals range from high-end RTX 4090, the budget-friendly RTX 4060, while the 40 series GPUs receive a mixed response from PC players who criticize its initial price to performance. The perception slightly changed after NVIDIA began slashing prices to compete with AMD's Radeon 7000 series lineup. With the RX 77,000 XT and 78,000 XT launching at the respective MSRP of $449 and $499, NVIDIA forced to take action and cut the price of the RTX 4070 down to MSRP $550. Yet this seasonal offer from NVIDIA may entice PC builders who remain on the fence about the RTX 40 series. Until January 8th, customers who purchased an NVIDIA RTX 40 series GPU will receive up to 3 months of PC Game Pass and GeForce Now priority at no added cost. According to NVIDIA, the promotions participating retailer are from the US and Canada and include Amazon, Newegg, Best Buy, B&H, Micro Center, Ant Online, Memory Express, and Canada Computers. However, buyers who want to redeem 3 months trial of PC Game Pass, a $30 value, must connect their Microsoft and NVIDIA accounts via GeForce Experiencing app on window after users can access PC Game Pass and its vast library of games, including titles such as Rise of the Tomb Raider, Starfield, and Far Cry 6. In addition to PC Game Pass, new RTX 40 series buyers will get 3 months of GeForce Now priority, a $30 value. Users who connect their Xbox, Steam, and Epic Game Store account can Steam their game libraries via the cloud, with access to premium rigs capable of ray tracing for up to 6 hours per play session at 1080p and 60 frames a second. New titles are consistently added to GeForce Now. And November 2023 saw the addition of RoboCop Rogue City, The Invincible, and the Talos Principle 2 to this streaming service. Between technologies such as ray tracing and DLSS scaling and timely price cuts. In response to the competition, NVIDIA Holiday Bundle is an offer worth considering. Only time will tell how PC gamers will respond to it. So, yeah, that's, I can't say that's a good, like, well, you know, 4070 for like 500, you know, I don't know. I wish they would bring these down to a little bit less because you're basically, they need to think about it this way. Okay, these graphic cards, yeah, they go on your PC, but it's the more expensive route considering that there are gaming consoles out there that are a hell of a lot less. Okay, so example, like if I think I think my next thing I'm gonna be getting would be you know I'll probably end up getting a console from here on out because I'm starting to realize how expensive this can get. Now, if you look at the 4030 or something like that, so let's go and look at the price of a 4030 or whatever. So, all right, 4030. And let's get, I think there's a 4030. Yeah. So, okay, so 4070, they're expensive right now, as you can see. And as you can see here, a 3060, which is still really good. It's a year behind. They charge a lot less than the 4060. The 4070 is really really expensive right now. And I would never, 4060, $329, just to upgrade a graphics card, and you got it's just looking at these prices. I come to the conclusion now that it's more suffice to have like a cheap laptop or a cheap PC build and buy yourself the actual like consoles because in the future that's what I might end up doing. I love the idea of PC gaming on a PC, but like I think it's I've done it for a few years and I'm looking at the price of building a new PC and like not building a new PC but in general like to upgrade a part to the PC, and it gets expensive. It gets expensive, and you can even see how expensive it is. So if we go and type like, let's just go and type 4060. Okay, I thought there was like a 4030, but there's not. Okay, 40 because I'm not up to date with this with all the PC stuff right now. So the 4060, okay, you can get it for like $300, a little under like you can get it around 300, okay? And you might even find it for a lot less. But, you know, it's, for me, I'm looking at it. I could take what I have here and go out and buy an Xbox for Game Pass outright and, have fun doing it and just do it that way. So, when you sit there and you think about it, yes, I like the idea of the PC, but the PC also it's a bit overpriced when it comes down to it. And the PC is great, but to have a high-end PC, you have to pay thousands of dollars, which is something a lot of people don't have. I like the PC and I like the idea of gaming on a PC, which I do it every so often. But when it comes down to it, it just goes to show us that like it's probably more beneficial to start owning consoles than PCs in some aspect. Now, like for me, like in the future, I'll probably end up going and getting a different laptop and just start running off of like start literally running off of like laptop or something like that. Just do stuff like that where you know, I can have what I need in a laptop and just run my stuff through the laptop and I can still game on a gaming console. So I'm looking at it that way. I mean, at some point I'm gonna be updating everything, but it's just like looking at it from a standpoint, these are too expensive to even like remotely, like like consider in today's standards because a lot of people are struggling with inflation, and all they're doing is making things harder for like people to actually have a hobby anymore because everything's just raising up in price, and it's just like you're seeing the aspect of like why everything is just why everybody's just like so busy just being on their phone all the time and like watching Netflix and all that all the time. Because the reality of the truth is, you know, the way you gotta look at it, it's very like, how do I want to say? It's very expensive, and it's not something a lot of people want to invest their money into right now, especially in an economy where food has become expensive, and then the price of eggs dropped back down, and it's like at some point the inflation's gonna end too, because I feel like we're almost at the end of that. But once we get back to normal and things like that, and things go back to a reasonable price, because like looking at games right now, they're a little bit expensive, but I think we'll get to a point again where we'll start seeing the games drop back down in price again, and we'll see, all that go back to the way things were like before the pandemic. Because I know also, like, we are at the end of the pandemic right now. A lot of people are saying that we're coming out of, the pandemic, and people are starting to breathe fresh air and stuff like that. And we're gonna, and, I will say this, as we come out of the pandemic, which the pandemic for me was over a long time ago. I've been working since the pandemic. I've been working even during the pandemic. And, inflation goes up, yes. But at the same time, you know, it's gonna start to go back down here soon again. And it's just something I'm picking up on. Like, and that's why, like, you'll see me go and invest all old games now instead of like brand new games, because the price on games actually right now, when I sit down and look at like the price on games isn't going to change anytime soon. And even even over the course of time, the video games, the value increases, but it's because the value of games. Where's my app? There it is. So the value on games doesn't change too much unless like you're holding it in its package and it's brand new. Now, I like having this collection back here, and the collection doesn't, it changes from time to time. Like that Mega Man Legacy Collection, like Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2 actually is up in price right now. It's more than it is at the store right now. Um and it is the complete in box. So if you have the complete in box, and Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2, which is back there, that went up a little bit. Um it's how you look at it and what you're looking at. So Disney Universe for the Xbox 360, which I have down there, it went up a little bit, you know. And the Xbox 360 is down in price, which I don't like that, but that is what it is. The price charting thing here is a bit difficult when it comes down to it, because what it essentially does is like it gives a price and you try to adjust the sales of your games to a very reasonable price. Like the Tears of the Kingdom link back there, you can go and get that for like you can go and get this one for like at the store for like $20. Now, you buying it at the store after you bring it home and sit it on your shelf and leave it in a box, of course, it's it's 23.66, leaving it in a box, brand new. So like the Link amiibo over here, the Twilight Princess, is like $50, complete in box, and that's why I leave them in the box. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, I open this up." Well, to have them become worth some sort of money, something like that, You have to have them in the box. Now, let me explain something. These ones that are outside of the box, they are outside the box because I got them used and I wanted them. And they give value to my Zelda, Legend of Zelda amiibo collection. Now, I have more Legend of Zelda, but I also have Mario, Donkey Kong, Bowser, Zero Suit Samus, like Duck Hunt Dog down here. You can't see it. But those amiibos, they go up in price when you leave them in the box, and they'll go up in price even having them out of the box. So when you collect action figures, it's best to leave them in their boxes so that way, like, they're not losing value over the course of time. And it's unfortunate because, I see it a lot where, like, the value of things just, you know, where, well, no, I can't say I've seen it a lot, but, like, this is my first, like, rodeo of actually collecting things and keeping them set back there. A lot of people didn't think that that was going to stay. A lot of people thought that I was going to buy that stuff, get rid of that stuff, all because, like, there was going to be some struggle. And people continue to do that to me. They think that they just bitch and complain about this back here and act like I don't have anything going on in my life. The reality of the truth is I get off of here and I go to a job that I get paid at. And these people are still bitching about this stuff back here, still complaining about this stuff back here, still hate that I'm adding to this collection back here, which these are full-grown adults doing to a guy who has a hobby outside of his job. That don't make sense to me. Because if I had a hobby, not many of full-grown adults have a hobby. I mean, let's face facts. So many full-grown adults, especially around me, their hobby is drinking beer. Their hobby is their hobby isn't exactly what I'm doing over here. And I think that's what really upsets people is because I have a hobby that isn't exactly hurting anybody. And I think that's where the problem lies with the people who just continue to do this really weird shit that they have this obsession with. Like, believe it or not, I see people have, like, really strange obsessions and really strange, reasons to get mad at another individual, but none of it ever makes sense to me. It's like that person that is just mad about everything and you can't figure out why they're mad about everything, no matter what you do. That's what it's like. So I'm not in a relationship and I'm not dating, so what else can I do but spend my time saving my money and investing it into something back here? I'm not bothering anybody. If I'm pissing you off because I'm doing this, like back here, you need to grow the fuck up. You need to grow up. You need to get a life or something, because there's plenty of people out there watching anime and being dumbasses from watching anime. No offense, but a lot of people that watch anime, they end up getting really stupid. I don't know what it is about anime, but anime tends to anime. So hold on, let me that was from last night, so that was paused. All right, so I will say this: a lot of people that watch anime, they have this like IQ level for some reason that's very, very, like, it's very, very low IQ. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but I'm saying that as an example of, like, it goes to show you what happens when you do those kind of things. For anybody to get mad at me about this stuff back here, you gotta realize this is my hobby. This is what I do. This is something I'm not gonna give up solely for the fact of giving it up because, somebody out there just doesn't like me doing it. So I look at it this way. If you're going to sit there and, get unreasonably mad at me and pissed that I have that stuff back there, you need to consider finding something else for yourself to do because, dude, I put up with a lot of shit and I put up with a lot of drama that people put me through. And I was going to read this, but I already actually read that before we came in here, but I put up with a lot of stuff. And for me to go out and just have a hobby, have a hobby that doesn't acquire me to go out of the house and, spend time, I try going out of the house and talk to people. I do. But when people are actually getting mad at me for spending time at home here, adding to that shelf, when it's not consistently what I'm doing, people are just dumbasses. People have this like really low IQ about themselves that when you get mad at somebody like me for having a hobby, you need to rethink your life a little bit. Because if I'm bothering you for buying something for this shelf back here, or buying a game for myself once in a while, like once a month, what is bothering you about that? Is it the fact that you're so in your like a lot of people in their head, okay? And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna actually talk about this for a few minutes. But this is a mental health thing, okay? A mental health issue that a lot of people in their head, okay? This is just something I picked up on about this. A lot of people in their head, when they get mad at me for this, they'll insult me, okay? They will be the first one to insult me and call me every horrible name in a book. But you know what I do? I normally don't let it phase me unless they keep aiming at me and keep saying horrible stuff to me. Because I look at it this way. There's people that are older than me that are doing this, and they're well known. They're bigger than me. So why would I not want to try to kind of be like, learn from them as an example? I'm not bothering anybody by collecting this stuff. The only people I'm bothering are the people who, you know, who have too much, like there are people I know that literally sit on their ass all day, drink beer, and I'm paying them rent money, of course, and they get mad at me. They get mad at me quite often, and I choose not to care anymore because the more I look at it, I'm like, well, what are you actually mad about? What is bothering you so much that you're actually mad about that? And I've been saying that for a while, and like people be like, well, you're blaming everybody for stuff, blah blah blah. No, I'm not, because technically, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not really blaming anybody for anything because I'm enjoying my time here spent at the house with this stuff. If I can sit at home and play a game and not waste money by going out and drinking, or like, go out and do stuff. And that's the thing about people is they're so ridden to this idea that, they have, like, I've seen it in a lot of people where they just go on this spree of insulting people and not know exactly why they're insulting people, like they're hurt by something. And for me, I've been down that route. I have been, and I still at times I get ostracized for doing things that I shouldn't get ostracized for. The only people coming at me should be coming at me for that is the people that it took effect on, which is barely anybody, but it takes effect on a lot of people when it comes down to it. And it doesn't quite make sense to me that, it doesn't quite make sense to me when, you know, people get mad about everything you do. Like, and that is go to work. That is have a job. That is making money to pay your bills. People get mad about that stuff. And it's extremely weird because isn't that what I'm supposed to be doing? You're mad because I'm going to work and paying my bills and then investing some of my money into the stuff back here. That don't make sense at all. That clearly doesn't make sense to me. And that's why I come to the conclusion some people just have a really low IQ and don't know why they're actually mad. And people can say all day, well, I'm trying to do right by God. Are you really trying to do right by God, or are you trying to do right by you getting mad at me? That's something good that needs to be thought about. If you're mad about something, sit there and contemplate and try to understand why you're mad, because you might not actually be mad at that person. You might be mad at yourself for something. you know? And that is why, like, even if I am mad at somebody right now, I really don't go after anybody unless they, spur of the moment and not too far off, had given me this hard time that broke me down to a level of ostracization that wasn't appreciated and stuff like that, or just to make a general person feel bad. Yeah, you're gonna get a reaction from me because you're basically aiming directly at me. It's like okay, it's like, so okay, you're gonna come and you're gonna try to like here's an example. So in war, okay, this is how war works. You send you send a missile to somebody and you hit their equipment, okay? You hit their equipment. They see you do it. What are they gonna do? They're gonna turn around and shoot right back a missile right back at you because you started shit with them. you know? And when you start drama with somebody and you throw the first stone, how do you expect people not to say anything back to you? How do you expect people not to react back? It's normal human behavior to react back sometimes, because you can't just sit there and let yourself get stepped on. You know, you can't sit there and let yourself get stepped on. And the thing about me is I do call people out on their shit, but it's very important stuff that I call them out on. Like the other day when I said I got ostracized. I got ostracized for doing something that was what men basically do. And I still get in trouble for it as example, but it's not coming from a person who isn't involved. It's coming from the person that's actually involved. And so I look at it this way. If if you're gonna sit there and ostracize somebody for what? Having a hobby such as video gaming, or having a hobby in general, like that just leaves everybody alone and they're not going out and do anything, or you're gonna ostracize somebody for like having a job, you're a fucking weirdo and you need some help. You really need some help. If you're going through life ostracizing somebody and getting mad at they have a job, I don't know what to tell you, because the American thing to do is go to work and pay your bills. And then on your time off, if you're not dating somebody, you spend it doing your hobbies, you know? That's how it works. It's a way of relaxing and relieving the stress off of your life. But, when it comes down to it and seeing it enough, I see enough people, like on my day off, that use the internet for some sort of form of attack on me, and they won't explain themselves because they like to stay hidden. All right? And that just goes to show you that people don't understand the meaning of what war actually is. War is you shoot at me, I shoot at you, we do this till somebody wins or somebody's dead. That's the main basis of war. And if you can't let that sink in, if you can't show your face when you're doing something to somebody, then you shouldn't be doing that at all, because you're weak. You're weak because you can't stand up to the idea. So, I want to say this. Anybody out there doing horrible shit to anybody and is trolling, you got to understand, you should be showing your face so you can get the reaction back. You just can't go through life hiding behind stuff, doing evil, malicious stuff to people, and expecting everything in life to be okay. Because let's face facts. There are plenty of times in the Bible where God catches up to people because they were a shitty human being to somebody for so long. And that includes that includes the people who try to start malicious stuff with me. You don't hide behind something and do something expecting no outcome. You're eventually going to get a reaction from somebody, whether you realize it or not. And the way you treat people is what you're going to get in reverse, no matter how you do it, Even if you're hiding behind something, you can't, and I will say this, there are a lot of people I know that sit there and hide behind a keyboard and do awful shit and say awful shit to people, but they don't have the audacity to even show their face. As for me, I don't go around doing that to people, and a lot of people perceive me as like an asshole, but like I've shown recently, I'm not. I'm just like, logically, I'm not gonna go out of my way to just ruin somebody's day and make them have a bad day all around. You have to understand. If you're gonna do something horrible to somebody, you need to show your face. You can't sit there and hide. You can't sit there and hide behind something so long expecting outcomes to be okay and just ruin and jeopardize what people are doing. Because that's like me going and taking, that's, you gotta remember, God, if you don't believe in God, you better start, because eventually, whatever, God, if you perceive it as life, that stuff catches up to you, man. And that stuff will really show you who you are in the end. God will show you who exactly you are in the end. And like, my family will see who they are in the end, and they probably don't like what they're seeing. You know, a lot of people have done me wrong in life, but hey, you know what? At least I know I'm not like out here doing wrong to people. You know. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take into consideration, if you're gonna do something wrong to somebody, you need to show your face. You can't sit there and hide behind something the entire time expecting it to all just be okay. You know? But that's people. People are weak. Some people are weak. Some people will outright tell you to your face that you suck and that you should suck a dick. And I'm one of those people. but I will not hide and sit there and try to jeopardize somebody else's like YouTube channel or threaten somebody's YouTube channel by hiding my face behind a picture. You're a sad excuse for a human being if you're doing that. You need to get some balls. You need to man the fuck up, woman the fuck up, get some boobs, be a full grown woman, and accept your dues. Because if you're not going to accept your dues, then God's going to get back to you, and you're not going to like what God has in store for you. And that's just how I look at it. And, I leave you with this before we leave. Johnny Cash once said in a song, God'll cut you down, no matter what you're doing. All right, so remember that. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I don't know why I went on with this discussion. It had to have needed to be had. But I'll be seeing you Monday again. I think I'm off of work tomorrow. What's today? So yeah, I'm off of work tomorrow, so you'll be seeing more from me tomorrow. Probably an early stream, a video, and an early stream in the afternoon, probably sometime early at night. I'll probably be off here. But that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be see you tomorrow, but look for my videos and a stream. Not a morning stream,